Hope Walz, the 23-year-old daughter of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, recently shared an intriguing dating tip with her nearly 200,000 followers on TikTok, sparking attention and discussion. As a social worker and ski instructor, Walz provided a personal perspective on how she and her friends screen potential romantic interests. According to Walz, one of the first things they check when engaging with a guy online is whether he follows Joe Rogan on Instagram. If he does, it's a red flag for her, and she advises that they should probably stop communicating. Walz explained that this litmus test has been a reliable method for her and her friends for several years. She claims that whenever a guy they are talking to follows Rogan, things almost never end well. The times when they do follow him on Instagram and we haven't stopped talking to them, it's never ended well, she said. She strongly stood by this practice, asserting that it's worked out positively for her and her circle so far. The reasoning behind this dating test stems from the influence Rogan has as a podcast host, particularly through his show, The Joe Rogan Experience, which has millions of listeners, most of whom are men. Walz didn't provide specific evidence to support her claims, but her personal experience seemed convincing. She went on to describe how it has become an automatic step when she or her friends begin talking to someone new. If they follow him, we're like, yeah, this person probably isn't a great person and probably our values don't align, so we're gonna move on from that. Hope Walz's approach might sound unusual to some, but it's clear that the Joe Rogan factor holds significant weight in her dating decisions. She even advised other women to try out this method, claiming that it has saved her and her friends from disappointment and heartbreak in the past. This revelation comes at a time when Joe Rogan continues to be a polarizing figure in the media. His podcast is immensely popular, often sparking controversy due to his political and social views. For instance, Rogan has had a complex relationship with politicians like Kamala Harris, the Democratic vice presidential nominee who was reportedly uncomfortable with Rogan discussing her stance on marijuana during a planned interview that ultimately didn't happen. His political influence was also notable during the 2020 election, when he publicly supported Donald Trump, further dividing opinion about his persona. Walz's comments about Rogan reflect the broader cultural divide that exists surrounding his popularity. While many admire his unfiltered approach to podcasting, others, like Walz, seem to associate his followers with particular political or social ideologies that don't align with their values. Ultimately, Walz's dating tip has caught attention because it represents how public figures, especially someone as influential as Joe Rogan, can shape personal decisions, even in areas as intimate as romance. While some may see it as a quirky anecdote, it reveals how media and celebrity culture can influence modern dating practices and the way individuals assess compatibility based on shared values.